When Mario opened a door after climbing a long stair in his dream, another world spread before him, and he heard a voice call for help to be freed from a spell. After awakening, Mario went to a cave nearby, and to his surprise, he saw exactly what he saw in his dream. That's the story of Super Mario Bros. 2, the fourth best-selling NES game of all time, with almost 7.5 million sales. That's a pretty big accomplishment for a game that didn't start out as a Mario game at all. The real Super Mario Bros. 2 was an exclusive title for the Famicom Disk System in Japan, and it looked like this. If you think that looks a lot like the first game, you're not alone. The real Super Mario Bros. 2 was a big hit in Japan, and would ultimately be the best-selling game for the Famicom Disk System. Nintendo wanted to convert the game to cartridge so it could be sold in the US and Europe, so they sent a copy off to Nintendo of America for review. Nintendo of America executive Howard Phillips reviewed all of the games sent over from Nintendo of Japan. When he found a copy of Super Mario Bros. 2, the sequel to Nintendo's flagship game, he eagerly popped it into his disk system, excited to see what the Mario team had cooked up. His excitement quickly faded. Not only did Super Mario Bros. 2 look and sound the same as the first game, it was also brutally difficult. It was certainly designed for players that had mastered the original and were looking for a challenge. Phillips had famously eaten a poisoned mushroom and died in the game's very first level, a dirty trick that he found off-putting. Nintendo had worked hard to establish itself in the United States after the failure of Atari left many people skeptical of video games. Phillips had some valid concerns. What if this was someone's first Mario game? Phillips brought up these concerns with the president of Nintendo of America, and he ultimately agreed. But Nintendo just didn't have time to make an entirely new game. Fans were clamoring for a new Mario, and lots of great new games were taking the spotlight away from Nintendo's biggest star. Unrelated to the cancelled North American release of Super Mario Bros. 2, Japanese TV network Fuji Television was planning a huge promotional event in 1987. Some of the producers from Fuji Television had traveled to Brazil and experienced Carnival. After the trip, they were inspired to plan a huge festival to promote their network. Titled The Dream Machine, the event lasted several months and featured concerts and technology exhibitions. Nintendo was the biggest name in Japan at the time, and Fuji Television thought it would be great to make a Nintendo game that tied into the theme of the festival. Nintendo agreed to make the game, and Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto was tapped to lead the project. He had been working hard on The Legend of Zelda, so he put Kensuke Tanabe in charge as the director. Tanabe had been designing a prototype for a new game. In it, the characters would climb upwards, and the gameplay would focus on picking up and throwing objects. He thought this would be a good starting point for the Dream Machine game. Fuji Television sent over drawings of 4 characters that were the mascots of the festival. They had an Arabian Nights theme, which would be worked into the game. Due to being inspired by Carnival, masks were also a big theme. The final game was titled Yume Kojo, Doki Doki Panic. In Japan, Doki Doki is an onomatopoeia for the sound of a quickly beating heart. Taken literally, the title means Dream Machine, Heart Pumping Panic. Doki Doki Panic was a hit in Japan. It looked and played great, and the soundtrack was composed by Koji Kondo, the legendary composer from Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda. Everything about the game was excellent, but Fuji Television owned the rights to the characters. They had no interest in releasing this game in North America or Europe. Fuji Television may have owned the characters, but Nintendo owned everything else. When Howard Phillips rejected the real Super Mario Bros. 2, Nintendo sent him a copy of Doki Doki Panic. They asked, "If you change the characters in this to Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Peach, could this be the sequel you were looking for?" Phillips thought it was a great idea, and with a few slight modifications, Doki Doki Panic became Super Mario Bros. 2. They did make a couple major changes. The fifth boss was completely redesigned. Originally, it was a very difficult rematch with Mauser, the boss of Worlds 1 and 3. In Super Mario 2, it became the crab boss named Claw Grip. The other big change was the addition of a run button, which made the gameplay feel a lot more like the Mario fans were expecting. When the game debuted in October of 1988, it quickly became the hottest toy for the Christmas of that year. Stores couldn't keep it in stock, and parents lined up for the chance to buy a copy. It certainly didn't hurt that Super Mario Bros. 2 was featured on the cover of the very first issue of Nintendo Power magazine. That first issue was sent out for free to every member of the Nintendo Fun Club, a mailing list of 3.6 million Nintendo fans that occasionally received newsletters about new Nintendo products. At the time, almost nobody knew that the international release of Super Mario Bros. 2 was a reskinned version of another game. It didn't matter. The game felt like a proper Mario game, and players loved the imaginative world within. Nintendo didn't talk about it much publicly until 1993, when they released Super Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo. This cartridge included 4 classic Mario games with updated graphics and sound. Included on the cartridge are the 3 Mario games released in North America, plus another called The Lost Levels. You guessed it. It was the Japanese version of Super Mario 2. The game we got in North America and Europe did have a profound effect on the franchise. It was the first appearance of Shy Guys, Ninjas, Birdo, and quicksand traps. The vertical levels would also return in later installments. It was so popular that Nintendo eventually released it in Japan under the title Super Mario USA. In modern times, Super Mario Bros. 2 is still popular with millions of fans. When IGN released their list of the top 100 NES games of all time, they rated it number 18. The game can be found on tons of modern platforms like the NES Classic Mini and the Switch's online service. You can also play the Lost Levels on the Switch if you're curious about that version. Modern gamers will have to contend with all of the challenges the NES is notorious for. The game features 20 challenging levels, and you'll be limited to only 2 continues before it's game over. But what if I told you the secret to completing all 20 of the game's difficult levels? What if I told you about hidden shortcuts that can make even the most difficult levels seem easy? What if I told you how to find all of the game's secret warp zones to get you ahead fast? And what if I told you how to easily defeat all of the game's challenging bosses, even the menacing final boss, Wart? Well, on today's episode of You Can Beat Video Games, we'll learn all of that and more. If you're new to the channel, we're doing deep dives on retro video games and giving you the professional strategies that can be used by the casual gamer. Please subscribe and click the bell for notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Let's get started. Alright, Super Mario Bros. 2. I'm going to choose Luigi for the first level. All of the characters have their strengths and weaknesses. Luigi's big strength is that he can jump the highest, so he's going to be the character that we use the most. He takes a little bit of getting used to, but he can get to a lot of areas that the other characters just can't reach. Pressing the B button near those tufts of grass will let you pull them up, and you can use what you find as a weapon. When you find a potion, you can throw it to create a door, and enter the door so that we can go into the subspace. Whenever we're in the subspace, the typical goal is to try to find a mushroom. The mushroom is going to give us an extra point of health, but we need to make sure that we throw the potion in the right spot, or the mushroom won't appear. Make sure to get this one up here. The POW block can be used to just kill all the enemies. Now as Luigi with a little running start, we can just jump right up here to the top of the waterfall and skip having to go through this cave in the door below us. Using the potion up here, we can enter a door. We'll be able to get our second mushroom, and we can also grab these tufts of grass to find coins. You can only pick up coins twice in each level, so if you had picked up any coins earlier, you wouldn't be able to do this, where we go back inside the door and come back for a second round of coins. Coins are going to be used at the end of the stage to get us bonus chances to get extra lives, so we want to grab as many of them as we can here in the early game. Inside this cave we can press down and hold it for a while until we flash to do a super jump, and then we wait for this bomb to flash, count like 1, 2, and then throw it. You want it to explode in midair to expose this secret passage. Over here we'll encounter the mini-boss, Birdo. Birdo is at the end of most of the levels. We want him to spit an egg out at us, we'll jump on top of it, pick it up, and throw it back at him. It only takes 3 shots to take him out. This is the bonus chance slot machine. Any coins that we found in the level will be used here to get extra lives, and ideally you want to see a cherry appear on the far left in the first position. That'll get you a 1-up no matter what other 2 symbols appear. If you get a cherry in the first 2 positions, you'll get 2 extra lives. 3 cherries get you 5 extra lives, and any 3 of the same other symbol will get you 1 extra life. With that, we're going to pick Luigi for level 1-2, but I will be showing you an alternate strategy here. So we'll want to jump up on top of this bird on a flying carpet. His name is Pidgeot, and we just throw him off, and we can use the carpet ourselves, so you just kind of hold to the right and the carpet will start flying that way. Over here we can pick up a ninja enemy, toss him over to the right, jump on top of his head and hold down to charge up a jump, and then when he jumps, we jump, and we can get on top of this high ledge, which will skip us ahead to the end of the level. Throw this potion down here to get a bunch of coins, but the thing is, Luigi doesn't pick up coins quite as fast as Toad does, and that's why I'm going to show you this alternate strategy. We're going to do a magic carpet trick here, so we want to jump up on Pidgeot, throw him off, move to the left and try to spawn a second Pidgeot, and then once we've thrown him, we jump back to our original magic carpet, and you'll see that it has turbo speed now. We can use that to get up to the high ledge as Toad. Now watch this, when we use the potion, we'll be able to grab all 9 of these coins. Pretty easily too. One thing that Toad can do is whenever he's holding an object, he can actually run faster than any other character in the game. So I'm going to kill this Sniffet, and we're going to go and get 9 more coins, so we'll have 18 coins this time to use in our bonus chance slot machine. That way we can get a lot of extra lives here at the beginning of the game, and we won't have to worry about them much at the end. You'll notice that each time I've also been getting this cherry. Whenever you get 5 cherries in this game, you'll summon Starman, and Starman will give us temporary invincibility. Now you'll see I keep respawning the cherry. This is going to be the 5th cherry here, so what I want to do is pick up an enemy and hold the button down so that I'm running. Then whenever I grab Starman, I won't actually kill the enemy I'm holding. I'll be invincible, but now I can run quickly to the right. I'll need to toss this guy before I can enter the door. And now I should be able to hit Birdo with the star, and I won't have to fight him at all. Pretty good trick. We have so many coins this time that they're represented by letters. I'm going to speed this up so that we won't be here all day. Now that trick I showed you with the magic carpet is not that easy to pull off, and it might take a little bit of practice. If you're having trouble, just do the strategy I showed you first and use Luigi. We're going to pick Luigi again here for level 1-3, and we can jump off that hawk mask and grab 4 cherries here at the beginning of the level. We'll just need 1 more to be able to summon Starman. We can find a potion here and go inside Subcon and grab a mushroom. We don't want to grab any of these cherries right now though, so that we can get the Starman outside of the Subcon. And that will make it easy to cross this trouter-infested waterfall. Make your way to the right. Over here there's going to be a potion, and we can use that potion 2 different ways. The first is to access the warp zone, which is right over here to the right. If we use the potion near this jar, enter the subspace, and then press down on top of the jar, we'll warp off to World 4. But we're playing all the levels today, so instead we can go back the way we came and use it on top of this hill. Up here we'll find our 4th health and 5 coins. Pretty nice. If you grab 5 large vegetables in this game, the 5th one will be a stopwatch instead. That'll freeze all the enemies temporarily. This area can be pretty annoying if you're not Luigi. He can jump very high, so right up on this area we'll just hold down to charge up a jump, and we can jump up to this platform. If you were one of the other characters, you would need to use those mushroom blocks to build a small platform to stand on, and then you'd be able to climb up. At the top here we can grab our first key. We skipped over the key in level 1-2. Whenever you're holding the key, this mask called Phanto will try to attack you. If you ever feel too threatened by Phanto, you can drop the key. Just make sure you don't throw it somewhere where you won't be able to pick it up again. If you just kind of let it go for a while, Phanto will leave you alone, and then it'll be a few seconds before he starts antagonizing you again. Make your way down to the bottom once you have the key. Be careful not to get hit by that bullet shooting Sniffet, and hold to the right as you fall. In this room we can grab a bunch of cherries, and we'll be able to get Starman, which will make the rest of this a breeze. Just kind of wait for Starman here, and we can just run past these spark enemies. A couple of ninjas, grab this ball, and here we are. This is our first world boss, Mouser. Before we can fight Mouser, we need to blow up this section of the wall with a bomb, and then if you kind of come over here, he'll start throwing bombs at you, and those bombs will clear out the rest of the rocks. We can pick up this bomb here and use it to get our first hit, hopefully. I did get him with it, good. But for the rest of the time, Mouser throws bombs at us. We kind of want to get down in this lower corner, try to catch a bomb, and then bring it to the back of his platform. That's where I have the most success at hitting him this time. If you try to pick up the bombs off the ground, sometimes they'll explode too quickly. It's better to try to catch them. And we're off to World 2. I chose Luigi again, but for good reason. Luigi is very good at digging, and that's something that we're going to need to do here in the desert world. Use this potion right where you found it, and you'll be able to get a mushroom for another hit, and a couple coins. Once the subcon wears off, make your way to the right. Be careful though, because the ground is quicksand. You'll need to jump rapidly if you get stuck in it. Just try to run past this fire-spitting panzer enemy. And over here we'll find a pyramid we can enter, and this is our first digging section. I'm going to wait till this shy guy walks away and then I'll dig down to this cherry. The best way to go here though is to dig in a zigzagging pattern. The shy guys will chase you, but they have to walk back and forth in kind of a straight line. They have to go all the way over, hit a wall, and then they'll be able to go back the other direction. If you dig a hole straight downwards, whenever the shy guy finds that hole, he's going to catch up to you very quickly. So using this like zipper pattern is a very good way to go. Also, if you try to get the cherries, you can make yourself invincible and then you can dig very quickly and take out some of the enemies that are chasing you. It is possible to hold a Starman and get to Birdo with it here, but it's tough to do. And this Birdo just shoots eggs. We haven't encountered the red Birdo yet that can also shoot fireballs. Hit him with 3 eggs, grab the ball, make your way through the mask gate, and we'll be on to level 2-2. Looks like I had a couple coins here. Alright, got an extra life. See how many of those we can rack up. And once again, we're going to choose Luigi. I promise that we'll give all the characters at least a chance. We'll certainly need Princess later. We'll even give Mario a chance, but he's probably the weakest character in the game. He's the fastest runner when he's not holding an object, but I think that the addition of a run button to this game versus the original Doki Doki Panic actually just made Toad a better character than Mario. In here we can grab a mushroom if we position our potion correctly. Then make your way to the right and we can grab a Starman. Remember that the cherries that you collect inside the subcon still count to your cherry count, but be careful, you don't want to get the Starman while you're still in the subcon or you'll waste some of its time. In here we need to grab a bomb and then quickly charge up a jump and then get up here. Over here on the right, we can find a potion in the middle where we'll be able to get another mushroom as well as some coins. So we'll grab 4 coins here if we're fast enough. Yep, got them all. And then we'll just make our way back the way that we came through the door. Watch out for these bullet-spitting cobrats. You can actually go down into their jars, but none of the jars in this area have anything good to find in them. Watch out for these fire-spitting panzer enemies, and head down the vine to our second digging section. Remember to use a zigzag pattern as you dig, and keep track of how many cherries you have in your mind all the time. So I know that I only need 2 more cherries right now, so I'm going to wait for this guy to move and grab this cherry, and then I'm just going to head straight down here and grab this 3rd cherry. That should do it. Once I have this Starman, I'm just going to dig as fast as possible, and I want to take out this Sniffit enemy that will be down here on the right. Make sure to be digging down on the right side of this wall. The left side is a dead end. Dig, 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 dig. Hit the door, and we will find our next Birdo boss. Now this is that red Birdo. The red Birdo shoots both eggs and fireballs randomly. So he's probably the most difficult type of Birdo. You don't know exactly what he's going to be shooting at you, and that's why we're going to bring up some of these mushroom blocks and use those to fight him instead of relying on the eggs. You don't want to hope an egg is going to come out and then end up trying to catch a fireball. So far, it doesn't look like he's shot any fireballs at us, which is fairly lucky. Grab the ball and head through the hawk mask, and we'll be on to level 2-3. Try to grab a couple extra lives here. And of course we're going to choose Luigi again. Make your way up the ladder. Whenever we get to the top, there's going to be a potion over to the right, but we want to grab it and then take it back to the left. Over here, we can grab a mushroom in the sub-con area, and we can also get some extra cherries. And a coin. I probably shouldn't have grabbed that coin. I'll show you why in a moment. We can use some of these as weapons. So grab whatever vegetables you need. But here's Starman. That'll protect us from these flying Birdo enemies. And we can charge up a jump. You won't be able to notice that you're flashing, so you just kind of count like 1, 2, 3. And in this room, we can get a whole mess of coins. And a mushroom. It's pretty good being Luigi. You can get up here with the other characters by jumping on the back of the Birdo enemies, but as Luigi you can just jump up here naturally with a charge jump. Makes things a lot easier. I grabbed some extra cherries. There's lots of cherries in this area, so we can spend a good bit of time with Starman. Here's another star for us. We'll grab it. And so that's our first cherry after this Starman. Even if we grabbed the cherry while the star was on the screen, it would still count towards the 5 that we need. So we now have 3 cherries. And down here is another digging section. At the bottom of this sandy pit is a door that will lead us to a key. I'm digging recklessly right now because I know that I'm very close to getting a star. There it is. So I just kind of want to take these enemies out and dig as quickly as I can while I'm still invincible. And make our way all the way to the bottom, where we will find a door, and inside that door will be a key. So I'm back to the zigzag pattern now, just in case that shy guy follows me. Once we get inside the door, we're going to do a charge jump. Watch out for this spark enemy. Grab the key and exit the door. If you're scared of the Phanto mask, don't be afraid to throw the key. It's pretty easy to get it back here in the sand area. Also, if you're really having trouble, you can throw the key, get underneath it, and you'll just kind of push it upwards. So you can do that to raise the key all the way to the top without holding it at all. Then that Phanto mask won't antagonize you. Still, it's a lot faster to get to the top of this if you just carry it. And right now it doesn't look like the mask is messing with me at all. So I'm going to enter this door, and we will be very close to the second world boss. This guy's name is Triclyde. Head on over to the right. Grab this ball. There's no Birdo in this stage, thankfully. Enter the hawk mask, and it's time for the boss. Triclyde is a 3-headed serpent that spits fire, but the fire can't go through these mushroom blocks, so we're going to use them to make a little wall. Put the 2 blocks right there on that ledge, and then when you're up here, make sure you have some forward momentum so that when you throw this mushroom block, it flies over and hits Triclyde. The little wall will protect you when you need to go back down and get another block, and it only takes 3 to take him out. Once he's been defeated, the door will open up, and we'll be on to World 3. We're gonna switch it up here and choose Princess Peach. It's kind of a big deal that this game has a female protagonist. I would say that probably less than 1% of NES games have a playable female character in them. Drop down the waterfall here at the beginning of stage 3-1. It may look like you would die doing that, but actually there's a secret door at the bottom. Grab the tuft of grass 6 from the end. It's a potion. Throw the potion near this jar and go down in it while you're in the subspace, and that's a warp zone to World 5. Now, if you don't want to use the warp zone, look at all of the coins you can get here. The princess lifts objects more slowly than the other characters, so it'll be harder to get all of the coins, But we can still go back out the door and do it a second time. Remember, you can only get coins twice in each stage. So we'll throw the potion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 coins, not bad. So we probably have about 14 now. We'll go out this door, and that takes us back to the beginning of level 3-1. Start just climbing upwards on these platforms. You can just avoid the shy guys. Make your way up to the top. At the very top, there's going to be another Pidgeot enemy. We're going to want to charge up a jump so that we can get up on top of him whenever he swoops down. And then just throw him off the carpet, and we want to ride it up into the sky. The Bezos shouldn't hit you if you stay towards the center and just keep holding up, and you want to jump to the vine as soon as you can. The magic carpet will eventually expire on you. Then you'll fall back down to the bottom and you'll have to fight another Pidgeot to get back up there. Here we can grab a potion. Right here is where you want to be to get a mushroom. And once we get that mushroom, there's a shortcut that will take us to the end of this level. So just jump off to the left here, enter the door, and we're going to place a bomb here, step away from it so that we don't get blown up. It kind of looks like an empty room, but if we charge up a jump and jump over this wall, we can loop over and enter the Birdo Fight. This is another one of those red Birdos, so we want to use the mushroom blocks to fight him. We don't want to rely on him shooting eggs at us, because they could end up being fireballs. You'll need to use a charge jump to get up into the Hawk Mask, and just look how many coins we have now. C. That's quite a few. Grab some extra lives, and we will head on to level 3-2. We can do some serious shortcuts in this level. We're going to choose Peach again, and you see that red door underneath the place where we started? That's the goal here, so that's where we're trying to go. Make your way to the right and make sure to pick up one of these vegetables so you can take out this Panzer. Head over to the right and you'll see some POW blocks. You want to pick up one of those so that you can enter the underground area below, and then run, jump, and hold the button down to hover over that pit. Go down the ladder, but then we want to climb up about 3/4 of the way on the ladder. Let go of the ladder and then make a jump, and we'll be able to jump up on top of the level and walk over to the left. We want to fall down this ladder and then climb it back up, and we'll already be at the very end of the level where it's time to fight Birdo again. If you accidentally climb up the ladder instead of jumping over to the ledge, then just climb back down and try it again. If you just try it a couple times, you'll get it. It's not actually that difficult to do. Use the mushroom block to defeat Birdo, and then grab the ball and head into the Hawk Mask. Level 3-2 is completed. For level 3-3, it's back to our good old friend Luigi. Maybe they should have called this game Super Luigi Brothers 2. Head up and enter the door. We're going to make our way to the right here. Make sure to grab the potion here, because we want to get this mushroom. There's going to be a boss at the end, so every point of health is going to be important. You can also pick up a POW block here if you just kind of want to have an extra one. You can throw it to take out the enemies. This game is actually the first appearance of bombs. They appear in almost every Mario game after this. Grab the potion and bring it over here to the left. This is where our second mushroom is. Climb up the ladder and grab it, and now we'll have max 4 health. We need to get a key to get in this door, so head over to the right. You can throw these ninjas at each other to take them out. Go inside this room. The screen in these vertical sections wraps around, so if you just kind of keep running and jumping to the right, you can quickly accelerate through this area. If you just keep moving through, the shy guys will barely have a chance to catch you, and go inside this door where we will find the key. Of course, once you have the key, that Phanto is going to start attacking you. So try to make your way down the same way that you came, but if you feel like Phanto is getting too close, just drop the key for a minute, let him go off the screen, and then pick it up again. You can also use the key as a weapon if you want to fight some of the shy guys with it. Just kind of wait here for Phanto to go away, and I'll throw the key over there. Just keep wrapping around until you get to the bottom. Yeah, you can also just throw the key whenever you are moving forward. And that'll keep Phanto off your back. Once you get into the door, we need to take the key over to the left near where we found the second mushroom. Head over to the left. Just try to avoid this guy. Make him go away. And we are inside the key door. In this area, we are going to be climbing a long vertical section, but this one has walls on both sides, so we won't be using that wraparound trick. Climb this ladder and make your way to the right. Since we're Luigi, it's going to be a lot easier to make our way up in these vertical shafts. Now, with other characters, you would have to go in this red door here, but with Luigi, we can actually use a damage boost to skip that section. So climb up this ladder on the right, and in this area we want to charge a jump, hit that spark, and then we'll just bounce back over to the right. It may look kind of difficult to do, but it's actually very simple. You get a lot of extra momentum when you get hit by that enemy for some reason. You'll notice that a heart appeared here. A heart appears every time you kill 8 enemies in this game, and if you collect it, it will recharge one of your units of health. I've also been collecting cherries in this area, and we're going to be rewarded with a Starman, which will help us get through this kind of tricky section with all the spark enemies. Make your way through here and then go up onto the ladder. Climb up to the top, enter the door, and we are practically at the end of level 3-3. We can pick up this turtle shell here and throw it in front of us to take out the ninjas on this bridge. Head over to the right, grab the magic ball, and enter the Hawk Mask. It's time for the rematch with Mauser. This Mauser is considerably more difficult than the previous one, and one of the big factors here is this spark enemy that is rotating around the room. Be careful of that guy. Eventually one of the bombs will probably explode and take him out, but until then you will need to be dodging that guy. Just try to catch the bombs out of the air. If you pick up one off the ground, make sure it's one that just landed seconds ago. You do not want to pick up a bomb that's been sitting around for a while. It might explode in your hands. Against this Mauser, I seem to have good luck placing the bombs towards the middle of the platform, and it will take 5 hits to defeat him this time, while it only took 3 before. And once he's gone, we'll grab our bonus chances, and we'll be off to World 4. World 4 is a world of ice, so we're going to choose Princess Peach. Whenever she jumps, you can hold down the A button to hover, and we can cover a lot of ground very quickly this way. Considering that the ground is ice and is very slippery, this will make it a lot easier to move forward. Wait for these flurry enemies to fall off the screen, then you can go down and grab the potion. The mushroom is right here. Also, try to get as many coins as you can because there's not going to be very many opportunities on this level to get some. Continue to the right, remember to use hover jumps so you don't have to deal with the slippery ice surface. And over here we can find another potion, and we'll be able to max out our health. Grab the mushroom, and there's 2 tufts of grass here if you're fast enough. That looks like I missed the second one. Use your hover jump if you need to curve around the ice and grab this rocket ship. The rocket ship will take us to the second part of the stage. We'll face a new enemy type up here called Auto Bomb. Auto Bomb can shoot fireballs, and you may want to take a moment to let the fireball fly off the screen, otherwise it'll just keep flying with you until it's gone. Make your way to the right, jump from the highest point and hover. At the end of this, there's no Birdo, we can just grab the magic ball and move on to 4-2. Didn't have very many coins this time. See if we can grab an extra life. Nope. Once again in 4-2, we're going to choose Princess Peach. Make your way to the right and climb up the vine. At the top, we'll find even more slippery ice, but this time we'll be assaulted in the air by Bezos. Make your way slowly to the right. You only have to jump over the Bezos that are on the very lowest level, otherwise you can duck under or just run right under the other ones. Also watch out for the flurries that will skate at you. Once you go through the door, head over to the left. There's a potion here. Enter the subspace and you'll find a mushroom perched precariously on the whale's tail. Enter the door and make your way to the right. Watch out for these water spouts. The watery part in the middle can actually damage you, although you can stand on top of them to get some extra height off your jumps. There's a potion here, and we can use it to access another one of the secret warp zones. Head over to the right across the whale's backs while carrying the potion, and at one point you'll be able to kind of float over and use your potion near this jar. Press down and you can warp off to World 6. Now if we're not using warp zones, we should come over here and grab a whole bunch of coins. There's 6 coins to be exact, which will give us several more chances in the bonus chance slot machine. Heading over to the right, we can try to collect cherries and get Starman. Watch out for this bullet shooting Sniffit enemy and grab the Starman, and then you can just go right through the water spouts, hover past the warp zone, and there is a rocket ship in this tuft of grass. Up here at the top, we will find another potion in the tuft of grass over on the right. Whenever I find a potion, I think, well, where is the hidden mushroom at? In this case, the mushroom is actually all the way over to the right across this spike pit, and you can use either the Shy Guy or the Auto Bomb to ride across it. I don't actually recommend getting this mushroom though. The best strategy is to just collect up some cherries, and you'll be able to get Starman, and then just run to the door. It doesn't take a lot of time to hold down, do a super jump, and head over and just hit this Birdo while you're still invincible. I didn't even do it in an optimal way. If you get the star with the cherry on the farthest right point, you'll have even less ground that you have to cover before you get to Birdo. Very easy Birdo to Starman kill. For level 4-3, I'm actually going to switch to Luigi this time. There's not a lot of ice we have to deal with here. In fact, there's a very easy shortcut in this level that will take us right to the end. But first, we're going to make our way to the left, where we will be able to grab a potion and get a mushroom so that we'll have an extra hit to use whenever we have to fight the boss. Hitch a ride on one of Birdo's eggs and make your way across this lake. On the other side, get a running start and take a big jump across that gap. Skip the first door and go into the second one, and you'll find the magic ball, and we're already to the boss. His name is Fry Guy. Fry Guy floats around the room, so I like to grab the mushroom block from the middle and try to hit him as he floats over to the left. He never seems to go all the way to the upper left corner, so you're mostly safe over there. Remember that you can wrap around the edge of the room and go from the left side to the right side quickly. And once he's been hit 3 times, he turns into these 4 Fry kids, not to be confused with the ones from McDonald's. And they can only jump so high, so if you can grab a mushroom block and get to a very high point in the room, you can just drop it down on top of them without being worried that they'll be able to jump all the way up there and hit you. And that's it. We've completed World 4. Only 3 more worlds to go. I chose Luigi for level 5-1, and you'll see why in a moment. But first, grab this shy guy and throw him at this Panzer enemy while you're ducked down, so you won't have to deal with the fireballs as you come across and go into the door. Inside, grab the second tuft of grass. That's a potion. You can use it to pick up some coins right here at the beginning. You don't want to grab the very first tuft of grass because that's actually a bomb and might explode in your hand. Take a big jump off the first log and then take a big jump off of the first trouter. You can easily clear these areas as Luigi, and that's why we chose him here. Make sure to get the one up at the top of the falls, and there's also a potion up there, which if we come down here, we can get a mushroom and increase our life total to 3. Here we can skip jumping on this trouter by using a charged up super jump, and if we jump over here and then jump across again, we can pick up this mushroom block, then use the potion, and we'll find our 4th health. Kind of a tricky mushroom to get. Once you exit that area, enter the door, and this time we're going to fight a Birdo that can only spit fire. No eggs this time. Use the mushroom block, and typically Birdo spits 3 fireballs and then takes a moment to rest. So when you see that he's done 3, you can take that opportunity to hit him with the mushroom block, and if you get low on health, you might want to try standing on the platform above and throwing the mushroom block down onto him from up there. And that's it. We're on to level 5-2. I bet you're not surprised that we chose Luigi again. Head to the right and climb up this ladder. 5-2 is kind of an outdoor night-themed level. Head over to the right, watch out for these hoopsters, which are like giant ladybugs that go up and down the trees. I like to use a vegetable to clear at least one of those ones, and you want to go down into the bottom of this jar, pick up the tuft of grass, which is a bomb, and blow out the floor. Underneath here, we can find a potion. There's also a vegetable down here, which you can use to kill these porcupine enemies. But you need to take the potion and carry it out of the jar. Once you're outside, you can use it, and we'll be able to grab a couple coins, but don't forget to get the mushroom. Of course, once you go down to that side, it will use a lot of time to get back up on top, so get whatever coins you're going to get first. Head over to the right. In this area, you can make a quick jump and then just get over these hoopsters. You can also jump high enough to avoid that panzer fire. Take a nice long jump and grab the vine, and head on up to the next part of the level. Head over to the left vine and then move up quickly to avoid the bullets that these snippets are shooting. You may need to switch back over to the right vine to get on top of this hoopster enemy. Then continue on up, head over to the right and enter the door. This part can be tricky. Once you grab the POW, you want to move towards the left, but not all the way to the left. So like slightly left of center, and then slightly right of center, but then back towards the middle again, and then head all the way right so that you can grab the door and don't end up in the water. Over here we'll fight another red Birdo. There's a trouter enemy that jumps out of the water. We can keep respawning by moving all the way to the left, and by using that trouter to kill him, we don't have to worry about jumping and catching the eggs, and we don't have to worry about the fact that occasionally he'll shoot a fireball. So 3 trouters will take him out, grab the magic ball, and we'll already be on to level 5-3. Level 5-3 is one that has a warp zone in it. So we're going to choose Luigi once again, and the warp zone is located right at the beginning of the level. So what we're going to do is climb up the ladder, and we're going to use a charged up super jump to get onto this ledge above. Up here there's a potion. As you may have expected, you'll go inside the subspace and go into the jar, and this one warps you all the way to World 7. Now, if we're not using the warp zone, we can use a potion here to collect some extra cherries. There's a lot of enemies in this level, so it is nice to have Starman on for most of the time. Once you get him again, we can get some more cherries, and there's a potion right here that will lead us to a mushroom this time, as well as a couple coins if we want to grab those. I'm going to make my way to the right and get yet another Starman. This way I won't have to worry about getting damaged by any of these Babam enemies. Up on top of this ledge here is a potion, but first we want to clear the rocks below with a bomb. I'm not worried about the fact that I took a hit here, because I'm about to get a mushroom which will restore my health to full. There's also a couple more coins here. If I make my way to the right, I can loop back down underneath and go back to the left where the ladder is. Don't take the mushroom block off of that jar, but bombs will start pouring out of there. Instead, just keep making your way to the left, use a vegetable to take out that panzer, and go through the door. We need to grab the mushroom block here to move downward, but watch out for this spark enemy. I'm going to duck under him there for a second. Now you can just kind of crouch down and hold down while you jump so you can get through that gap. That way you don't have to go all the way down and around. Head on up to the top here. Since we're Luigi, we don't have to worry about using those mushroom blocks to get up higher. We want to just wait this panzer out. So once he gets close, move over to the left side of the screen and then start climbing up. Head on up again, and here's a second panzer. We're just going to do the same thing. When he gets too close, we'll switch over to the other side of the room. And those are the last enemies in this area. We can just climb on up freely now. Make your way to the top and enter the door. And we are almost to the end of the level. There are a couple vegetables here, and since I had already grabbed a big one before, we have the stopwatch. But we'll need to wait it out so that we can grab this magic carpet and fly forward. Once you have it, make your way across. There's a second Pidgeot that we'll see in the air here, but we don't need to deal with him. Just get above him and head over to the right. Keep moving to the right, he'll leave us alone. Watch out for these shy guys and stay on the platforms. You can carry one with you. There's going to be a Birdo over here. I like to get a free hit on him with one of the shy guys. And grab an egg. You do need to be careful, he might shoot a fireball. This is a red Birdo. But use a couple eggs and finish him off, grab the magic ball, and we can head on to the boss, Claw Grip. The trick with Claw Grip is to look for a good opportunity to pick up a rock. You don't want to grab one that's going into a hole already. Once you have it, get up close to him and throw it over his head so it banks off the back wall. It'll almost always score multiple hits, and if you're lucky, you may be able to take him out in just one shot. And that's it. We're on to World 6. I'm going to choose Luigi again, because World 6 is another desert. There is a whole lot of quicksand in this level. Kill the first Cobrad in the jar that you see, and go down inside where you'll find a potion. Take that potion up and out, and jump over to the bones on the right. Make the door on top of the bones. You gotta get this mushroom really fast, or it will sink into the quicksand and be gone forever. Head over to the right. If you grab the top of this pokey enemy, the rest of it will still be alive, so be aware of that. As you make your way to the right, don't get sucked into the quicksand. You'll probably want to grab this Cobrat here and throw it at the next one. Over here, we can get a vegetable to take out this pokey enemy that's coming up. If you hit the bottom one, they'll all go down. And then if we want to get a mushroom, we need to carry this potion quite a ways. We'll be happy to be Luigi for his high jumping ability when we're trying to get over those pokey enemies. All the way at the end, you get some coins and that mushroom I talked about. And then we'll want to go inside the door, where we will encounter a whole bunch of jars. Head over here, you want to be in the 4th jar from the left. You'll dig down to the bottom where we will find a 1-up. Well, it's the 4th jar in the like 2nd set of jars. There's the 1-up, and once you got it, jump your way out of here. Once you get back out, make your way over to the right. This one is in the 5th jar from the right. At the bottom of this, you'll know you're in the right place if you see the Phantom mask. We're still doing the zigzag pattern on the digging, and at the bottom of the jar you'll find the key. Take that key and carry it out of the jar. Remember, you can drop it if you're worried about the Phantom. Once you're out of the jar, make your way all the way to the right where you'll find the key door. Inside, we will battle another Birdo. This is one of those fire-spitting Birdos, so I like to get up high on top of this platform and try to throw the mushroom blocks on him from there. But he's not that difficult to defeat, especially if you have 4 hits to work with. So you can just kind of get up on top of him and hit him with the mushroom blocks. You can even stand literally on top of him. And that's it. We get the magic ball, and we are on to 6-2. You're definitely going to want Luigi in here. This level is not very desert-like at all. This one I like to refer to as the Albitos Express. This bird enemy that you see is called an albatos, and note that I grabbed a vegetable at the beginning here. You're going to want that right here. Take out this panzer and get back onto that albatos. Make your way to the right, hold down to charge up a jump so that you can duck under things and get up onto this platform. And if you want to get a mushroom, you can use the potion right here. Now, you may just want to skip that mushroom because if you get it, the only way to move forward here, well, without doing a whole bunch of insane jumps, is to ride an albatos all the way back to the beginning so that you can catch some more birds that are headed back to the right. So here we go. At least this time I'll be on the higher up one, which will make it a lot easier to avoid stuff. Like this fire here. Gotta watch out for some Bezos that weren't bothering me before though. Looks like these guys are just gonna go underneath. So just ride the albatos all the way to the right. You'll need to jump over those guys. This level is not actually that difficult. Just keep riding, and eventually we'll come to the end. This is it here. Just head into the door. In this room, we'll be fighting another fire Birdo. Grab the mushroom blocks. You can get up above him and drop them down on top. Grab another one. And launch it. One more hit will finish off this Birdo. And that's it. Grab the magic ball, and we are out of here. Now for level 6-3, it's a very short level, so I'm gonna give Mario a chance here. You can use whatever character you want. You may just want to do Luigi again, but we're gonna give Mario a shot. Head on up the ladder. Over to the right, we'll be able to grab a potion, and if we use it over here on the second set of bones, we'll be able to grab this mushroom. We're going to want that extra hit to make sure we'll be safe for the boss. Now make your way back over to the left, and there's some quicksand here. Let yourself get sucked down into the quicksand, but keep holding to the right, and as soon as you can move to the right, start hitting jump so that you can stay under the wall but not get sucked completely under the quicksand. And you will find a door on the other side, which will lead you to some cloudy platforms and a door, that will lead us to the boss. But before that, we do have to fight another fire and egg Birdo. So grab this mushroom block and hit him with it 3 times. Use the magic ball to open the hawk mask. And here he is, the second fight with Triclyde. This Triclyde is not that different from the one we fought in World 2. We just want to build up a little wall. Usually I do one 3 blocks tall. That stops almost all the fireballs. Then we can go down in the bottom, pick up some mushroom blocks and throw them from the top of the structure. And since it only takes 3 mushroom blocks, I just grab the top one off of my stack and finish him off. Head into the door, and we are off to the final world, World 7. Of course, we're going to use Luigi here. He makes this level way easier. Head up the ladder. Head over to this pillar, crouch down, and jump on top of the first Albitos you see. You're going to want to ride him over to the left, where we will find a ladder, which leads to a tuft of grass that hides a rocket ship. That will take us up to the second part of the level. In this part of the level, if we keep our momentum and jump off of this sniffet with a bit of a run behind us, we can get up over this pillar and skip all the nonsense below. Once we're into this section of the level, make your way up to the ladder while avoiding the sparks. They will try to go around the ladders. Crouch down when you have a chance and get up onto the ladder above. As the other characters, you'd have to build up a bunch of platforms with those mushroom blocks, but as Luigi, we don't have to do any of that at all. Head up to the door, where we'll face Birdo. This Birdo has a nice mushroom block for us to use against him. He's one of the fire-spitting ones. So just keep hurling the mushroom block at him. We only have 2 hits because we skipped most of this level, so we do need to be a bit more careful here. Remember that he usually spits bursts of 3 fireballs before stopping and pausing to shoot more. And this is it. 7-2 is the final level of the game. There is no 7-3. Wart's Castle is filled with twists and turns and can be very difficult, but there is a shortcut that I'm going to reveal that will allow us to skip almost all of it. These floors will try to push you to the left, so jump around and don't spend a lot of time standing on them. You want to head all the way to the right and climb up this chain. Up here is where the shortcut is. Make your way over to this chain, being careful of that spark enemy, but don't climb all the way up. Stop and then try to get a jump off of the chain so that you get on top of the wall here. If you climb up by accident, just climb down and try again, and if you're running, you won't fall into any of these small gaps where the chains are. This is the one you want to drop down. The key is conveniently waiting for you, so you just have to go through the door. Watch out for Phanto as you make your way to the left. Enter this door, and we are almost to Wart. But before we get to Wart, we do have one more battle to fight, so move these mushroom blocks over to the right side so that you'll have them. Once you pick up the magic ball, the hawk mask will fly at you and attack. You'll need to use the mushroom blocks, throw them at it, hit it 3 times, and it will open up, and we'll be off to the final boss. Once you get to Wart, you'll notice there are 3 horns in the middle of the room. They spit out vegetables. You need to try to catch one, and once you have it, you want to jump from the top platform across and over Wart and get behind him, and then you can throw the vegetable into his mouth when his mouth is open. It's actually okay to stand back there. Wart will never hit you if you're all the way back against the right wall. Then one thing you need to be careful of is when you're trying to catch a vegetable, that you don't get hit by the bubbles. If you see a vegetable come out of the far right horn and head to the right side, don't even go after it. It'll almost always get hit by the bubbles or put you in a bad position. just take your time, look for a good spot where you can catch him. You'll need to hit him 6 times. Hitting him from behind is the trick. If you try to hit him from the front, a lot of times your vegetable will hit his bubbles and it will be disintegrated before it goes into his mouth. But throwing from behind, they always go in. After the 6th hit, Wart will breathe smoke, will enter the door, and we'll be able to release the spirits of the subcon. You've done it. We've beaten Super Mario Bros. 2. All we can do now is sit back, relax, and enjoy the cheesy ending. Well, as you may have expected, we used Luigi a lot this time, but we did get Mario, Toad, and Princess Peach in on the action. And after that, we will see Mario in bed because it was all a dream. They do show us all of the game's enemies and have labels on them, but you'll notice that there's actually a bunch of mistakes in the ending. They accidentally switch the name of Birdo and Ostro. They spell claw grip, claw glip, and there may actually be a couple other errors in there. The animation looks nice on Mario. It's actually a pretty cool ending for a Nintendo game. Well, I hope this video was able to help you finally free Subcon from Wart's evil clutches. If it did, make sure to give it a like, and make sure to subscribe for more videos, because there will always be more dream worlds for us to free, and that's why we'll be back again next week with another video game you can beat. Thanks for watching.